Ireland. Harold Yarling, the man who now looks after the Irish, and this would be one of his main focus crews. Then the Czech Republic, Holland, Ireland on the far side in lane 1. Lane 2, I think I said the Dutch were in lane 2. I apologise for that. It's actually the Czechs who are there. Lane 3, New Zealand. Carl Mayer, James Dunninger, Eric Murray and Hamish Bond. And interesting little event yesterday for them. Carl Mayer, who was catapulted off his seat when a water bottle moved up by some mysterious means and prized the seat from beneath him, and the boat came to a complete stop and the seat was put back, and they then produced their fastest ever time. So work that one out. The Dutch, who would be favourites here, are in lane 4, France in 5 and Slovenia in lane 6. Slovenia, who were 4th in Linz. Fastest crew in qualifying were New Zealand, 5:48.59. So can they follow up and avoid such strange happenings as flying water bottles?
I suspect that all water bottles have been banned, although I did notice that Maher Drysdale had 2 tucked in behind his feet, so they couldn't get in the way of his seat when he went off there in the men's single sculls. Holland here favourites for this event, and it could just have been that with this crew on its home water, the British thought it was wise to go and do the 8 for this of all the chosen World Cups.
Yes, when you were explaining earlier, I was thinking, you know, the Dutch have been nibbling away, shall we say, at the British 4, and why give them the chance of glory on their home water?
I think that was part of what was at issue, but also it is a strain being in front all the time. Great Britain never been beaten in that 4. Peter Reid never lost a 2,000-metre race. This isn't the place to start, so they went and did something else.
So Keith Vermeulen, Jan Wilhelm Gabriels, Matthias Verlenga and Gert Siekel take it away for Holland in lane 4. And it remains to be seen what they can do against arguably New Zealand, who are right next to them in lane 3, and it's the bow of the New Zealand 4. Carl Mayer sitting in the bow, sitting in front of him James Dallinger, Eric Murray in the 3 seat, and Hamish Bond in the stroke seat.
But in fact, it is Holland who've now got back in touch, taking with them France in lane 5 and New Zealand in, I think, 3rd place. But Holland are going to be the pacemakers in this race and must be keener on a result here than in almost any other event. The 8 sadly didn't make the big final, so this 4, a lot rests on them. Marit van Eupen did it in the lightweight single sculls, but this is the headline event for the Dutch team at this regatta.
Yeah, and I've got to say the grandstands and the car parks are healthily full here in the Bosbaan, and this is one of the boats where they've come to see success, they hope, for Holland, who go through the first quarter ahead of France. Now, France have to be respected here. France, Julien Desprez, Benjamin Rondeau, Germain Chardin and Dorian Motelet. They were 3rd in Linz and not far behind on the clock. I mean, the difference between New Zealand and Holland and France is just about 1.5 seconds, but not much more.
Holland looking very composed, settled into their middle 1,000 at a race pace which they can adapt upwards, and which is nevertheless strong enough to keep them in a good half-length lead over the rest of the field. They know that this is theirs for the taking and are going about it in a very efficient way. They're light in the body, not hugely powerful, but very tidy, rangy, long rowing. very attractive rowing to watch.
Sponsored, as you can see, by Berkel de Nure. For those of you who are not familiar with that, it's one of the 3 biggest law firms here in Holland, and they are the exclusive elite sponsors to the Dutch squad, and that gives them the right to have first crack at the brightest student talent in the country.
Well, I'm delighted that somebody thinks that rowers are bright. There's scope for doubt on that particular point. New Zealand in second place, coming through 1,000 metres there. Carl Mayer in the white cap in the bow seat of that recovered from his mishap of yesterday. And France in third place, hanging on there because they're out in lane 5. They could argue that was a disadvantage to them, but they're in the echelon just behind New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand, who were 9th last year. There's one change in that crew. Selwyn Cleland has been replaced by James Dallinger, who's in the New Zealand 4. Carl Mayer and Eric Murray from the Canaveral Rowing Club. Hamish Bond in the stroke seat. He's from Otago Boys. And at the moment, doing okay, Hugh, but perhaps now beginning to come under some serious pressure.
Yeah, well, once again, we're looking across at lane 1. Ireland were last at 500 metres, and they weren't. They actually were given last and have pulled up. But nevertheless, they're on the premises in lane 1. Slovenia, a good 4, done well for the last 2 seasons, not on the premises in lane 6.
Yeah, they were 5th in the world, you're quite right, but Ireland, Alan Martin and Sean Casey, then working our way up to the bow, Cormac Folan and Sean O'Neill in the bow seat on the far side there, the green and white of Ireland. And then the Czechs, and then the black shirts of New Zealand there, 5 in the foreground, that's France. And of course, the missing crew is Holland, who have the distinct advantage at the moment. And the noise from the grandstand here, it's been pretty consistent. They're trying to really urge and draw their crew home here. And they're already standing on their feet here, looking forward to give a famous ovation to this Dutch crew. Nothing less than victory would be good enough for the Dutch here. OK, the British aren't here, but the Dutch have got to try and send a message here, Hugh, that they are going to be commanding winners. Not just winners, but commanding winners.
They've got a length at the moment. They're 2.36 seconds up at 1,500, in very good control. And they've got a couple more pips under their belts, but they've got open water. Why do it right now? This is enough command.
Yeah, Gijs Vermeulen in the stroke seat from Amsterdam. Jan Willem Gabriels from Groningen. Matthias Verlinger from Amsterdam. And Gert Siekel in the bow from Utrecht. And those men now being borne down on as they come to us. Still a very strong challenge coming from the Czechs and the New Zealanders. But it is Holland at the moment. New Zealand really powering here. Look at the finish from New Zealand. New Zealand are coming through. New Zealand have taken Holland right on the business end. And New Zealand get it. New Zealand take the victory away from Holland with the Czech Republic in 3rd place.
As we came into the last 500 metres, I thought they had another couple of pips in them, the Dutch, and in the end, when the pressure came on, they had no response at all. That beautiful race pace just carried straight on through. New Zealand put in that huge burn up the last 250 metres and took a length off them.
Well done, the boys from New Zealand. Hamish Bond, Eric Murray, James Dallinger and Carl Mayer. The Dutch must have thought they'd done enough, and boy, they had nothing when the New Zealanders came at them.
No lift at all. Absolutely no lift. It wasn't within the crew, it wasn't the stroke's fault, it was nobody's fault, it just wasn't there, because they'd taken it all out further down the course in building up that length at 500 metres to go. 2.36 seconds taken off them. In fact, they are 0.36 behind, so 2.72 seconds taken off them in that last 500 metres.
Well, second victory for the day for New Zealand in